First in the news, former President Rodrigo Duterte has formally appealed to the International Criminal Court for interim release to an undisclosed country. Duterte's lawyer Nicholas Kaufman said a specific government has expressed advance and principled agreement to receive Duterte during the period of his provisional liberty. According to the filing, the unnamed country has committed to comply with any conditions the ICC may impose. The defense argued that Duterte does not pose a flight risk and is unlikely to continue committing crimes. His legal team cited his age and health as additional humanitarian grounds for his temporary release.
Now let's talk to ICC accredited lawyer attorney Joel Butuyan. Good morning. Thanks for joining us today.
Good morning, Angelo and Angela. Thanks for having me.
Right. So the Duterte camp claim po na may request po sila nga tungkol nga dito sa interim release, and sabi daw po nila may non-opposition ang prosecution. Do we have information regarding this? At tama po ba yun within the bounds of the rule na hindi na lang kakausapin din yung mga nagsampa ng kaso regarding this interim release?
I think mali yung phrasing nila na the prosecution has already agreed to the interim release of the former president. No, the correct phrasing should be the prosecution will agree if certain conditions are met. No, kasi merong mga conditions that the defense has admitted were imposed by the prosecution. Although those conditions are redacted, kumbaga confidential, so they're not available publicly.
Right.
Okay, meron ba tayong attorney precedent before na similar sa case ni former President Duterte, also in the ICC, na pinayagan ang interim release pending an agreement from another country?
Meron ng a few instances when the ICC granted an application or request for interim release. Pero yung alam ko, mga minor offenses lang ang involved, yung tungkol sa violations on interference on the administration of justice, yung mga nakikialam sa mga witnesses, yung mga nagsusuhol, who bribe witnesses or who threaten witnesses, no? And in some of these instances, the country that accepted to host this interimly released accused was Belgium. So ang number one sa suspecha ko, the country who would most probably agree to host Mr. Duterte would be Belgium.
Okay.
No? Because of its history, its past history of accepting interimly released accused. And second, it's very close to the ICC, to the ICC seat in The Hague. No? So kung mag-attend ng trial si Mr. Duterte, it's just, I think, even just less than an hour away, no? Yung Belgium from The Hague.
Can you explain to us, attorney, why was it redacted from the information, the request, yung possible host country nung kanilang request for interim release?
Kasi meron pa rin kasing mga conditions din, no? Yung host country na kailangan mag-agree, at the same time i-impose pa rin sa host country, and I guess commonsensically ayaw nilang magkaroon ng political pressure din, no? And siguro nakikita rin nila, no, yung mga panggugulo ng mga supporters ni President Duterte. Baka mamaya magdagsaan sila bigla doon sa Belgium kung umalingaw-ngaw kaagad prematurely yung identity ng host country.
Kasi attorney, madaming legal luminaries or also political analysts na nagsasabi na yung sinasabi ng defense team ni Pangulong former President Duterte na hindi naman siya flight risk. Number two, he does not pose any threat sa witnesses or walang sway over them. Ang sinasabi nila, he's not a sitting president. He might be physically weak, but his daughter daw is also the vice president. And look at what's happening daw sa impeachment court, yung power that they still yield in the Philippines. So even though that he may be restricted in movement, meron pa rin siyang connection, even as simple as...
And he won, mayor.
Yeah, mayor. And even as simple as a telephone. So ano po ang tugon nyo dito?
Alam mo, tama yun, no? It is really a flight risk, no? Kasi from the very beginning, talagang he didn't recognize, no, the jurisdiction of the ICC. In fact, he withdrew the Philippines from its ICC membership, no?
Yeah.
And he even threatened ICC officials if they came to the Philippines to investigate. And during his arrest, he even threatened the arresting officer, now General Torres. Sinabi niyang malilintikan ka or something to that effect sa mga anak ko, no? Or magbabayad ka sa mga anak ko. So talagang makikita mo na talagang with his own language, with his own statements, talagang he's going to be a flight risk. He's going, at the first opportunity, he's going to escape, no, from the jurisdiction of the ICC, no? So tingin ko factually, hindi talaga magiging entitled si Mr. Duterte based on the fact that he is a flight risk. Hindi siya entitled to an interim release.
Attorney, baka you could help us understand a little, no? Yung request for yung interim release and then whoever yung host country. So does this mean that even if the trial commences already, he will still be under interim release sa country na yon, and every time na he needs to appear lang in a trial, tsaka siya babalik sa The Hague, tapos babalik ulit siya kung whatever facility he will be in another country? Ganun po ba ang setup niyan?
Tama yun, no? Kasi kailangan siya mag-appear sa trial, no? Unless talagang merong physical inability, pero kailangan talaga siya mag-attend sa trial. So kailangan talaga yung bansa na mag-host sa kanya in his interim release should be accessible sa The Hague.
I remember, attorney, in one of your interviews, you stated also that age was never a factor in ICC because most of the ICC suspects are of the same age as Duterte. You also mentioned that Duterte cannot bring up the health reasons because may mga medical facilities, able medical facilities ang The Hague na po pwedeng gampanan yung kanilang tungkulin kung may mga problema medically, itong si former President Digo Duterte. But where do you think is the defense coming from? Yung lakas po ng loob nila saying na most likely ay magagrant yung interim release nila.
Ang problema kasi natin, Angela, dito sa kanilang application, heavily redacted yung issue ng other than yung 80 years old siya, meron silang sinasabi na redacted, no, na reason. So most probably, I would suppose this would be a medical reason or a health reason, no? Although hindi natin alam kung gaano ka seryoso yung reason na yon. Pero kung babalikan natin yung pag-aresto kay Mr. Duterte, he just came from Hong Kong where he spoke before several rallies, no? Yeah. So he was able to travel. He was able to speak, no? For ang report is more than an hour, no? And when he was examined by doctors before he was shipped out to The Hague, wala naman siyang problema, no? So right. And that was only March. That was only about 3 months ago. So kung pagbabasehan natin yung kanyang medical history, mukhang kung yung pagiging 80 years old na lang, it's not going to be a sufficient reason.
Okay, Attorney, what can we expect now to happen between now and September with regards to itong nangyayari po kay Pangulong Duterte? Because a lot of people are waiting for updates.
Well, unang-una yung issue ng jurisdiction kasi china-challenge ng defense yung jurisdiction ng ICC. At naghain na ng, kumbaga, parang opposition yung prosecutor at pati na rin yung tumatayong Victims Council. Submitted na yan noong June 9, no? Yung opposition, yung observations, yung comments ng kabilang parties. At didesisyonan yan ng pre-trial chamber. And I suspect before the September hearings on the confirmation of charges. Pangalawa, dito sa may request for interim release, nag-file pa lang ang defense ng application. Right. So bibigyan ng tsansa yung prosecutor saka yung Victims Council to submit their positions on this issue. And then saka pa lang magdedesisyon yung pre-trial chamber. Right. So yun yung mga expect natin before the September confirmation of charges.
At least we're clear on that kasi sinasabi ng defense, non-opposition daw ang prosecution sa kanilang request for interim release. Alright, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Thank you for your insights and time, Attorney Joel Butuyan. Thank you so much.